Hey everybody, it's Josh here again from Sales Mentor. I hope you're doing great. Today I wanted to really dig into sort of a mysterious, uncommon topic for salespeople, and that's process. I remember back, years ago when I was a sales rep and I was just starting out. Everything was geared towards activity. Everything was geared towards output, which is something that I stress that most people don't do enough. So I'm not trying to detract from that. What I'm trying to say is that every activity that you have or do needs to be measurable. It needs to be calculated. It needs to be part of a process that leads a customer down your funnel. So what you need is a sales process. You need a sales funnel. You need a trackable, traceable, optimizable step for every single action that you take. So if you call somebody, you need to record that you've called somebody. If they don't answer, you need to record that they don't answer. If they did answer, then you need to record what the next step was. Every single person to be really, really successful at sales needs a process, because ultimately this is going to give you the sort of measurements, this is going to give you the metrics to be able to really optimize your performance towards success. So for example, if you make 100 calls this month, then you need to measure that. You need to put that down and track that you've made 100 calls. Out of them 100 calls, how many answers was there? Out of them answers, how many of them people were you able to get a meeting with? Out of the meetings that you have, how many were you able to get a proposal to? From the proposals, how many you were able to close? You need a clear, identifiable process that then you can constantly monitor and track to work out where you are in terms of performance. So one thing that I'd like to hope is that everybody has a CRM. And if you don't, then I'd like to understand why you don't, because here's the thing: if your company isn't a traditionally salesy organization, sometimes they might not have like a sales CRM. When I moved recently to the company that I'm at now, a sales director, they're a game development studio initially, so they didn't actually have a sales CRM. But force it on the company. At the end of the day, companies want results, and your ability to track and optimize your own performance is ultimately going to end up affecting their top line numbers. So for the small investments, the CRMs, you don't need a multi-million-pound sales force all singing or dancing CRM. If a company even refuses it, this is something that you should pay for yourself, because you can get things like Pipedrive for 30, 40 quid a month. You can get Zoho, you can get Insightly, you can get Quip. There's so many different CRMs available where you can track and optimize. And even if you don't want to pay the 30, 40, 50 quid a month, which if not is seriously is something that is a justifiable cost, because that is going to add so much value to your sales career, and you're going to earn more money off the back of it. But if you're too hard up for 30 quid, then you need to put a spreadsheet together at the bare minimum. And what you need is an identifiable process. So to give you kind of an example, and this is going to be different per business, this is going to be something unique to you, but to give you kind of a guideline, what you need is a first step, so something to monitor and measure that initial outreach. So what channel did you outreach via? So did you reach out to them via cold call? Did you reach out to them via email? Did you reach out to them via LinkedIn? What medium, what channel did you use? You need that to be trackable. Then you need something to say when you obviously did that outreach. And then from there, for example, if somebody didn't answer, how long do you leave it in your process until you recycle back through their numbers or their email addresses and hit them again? If, for example, they did answer, then what was the outcome? You need a stage in the process to measure what was the outcome and what was the next step. So if they answered and they said, listen, I'm too busy, I don't want to speak to you right now, what do you do next? Do you ring them again the next day? I highly doubt it. So what you need then is a secondary process to that. So if somebody doesn't answer, if they do answer and they're not particularly responsive, you need to take them to a different part of the process. So am I going to connect with them on LinkedIn? Am I going to source their email address and ping them an email, sharing some value to try and re-engage them and get them more interested about my product? This is a process that you need to define. If, for example, then they did answer your call and they were happy to take a meeting, when is the meeting? And then what are you going to do between now and the meeting? Is there another step to your process where you might share some value with them? Is there something that you're going to give them content-wise pre-meeting? After the meeting, what's your step from there? You know, so after you have your meeting, is it straight to follow-up? Are there another form of call or a demo for a particular product? How does your process work? But the point here is I'm not going to give you the perfect process. I can't give you the perfect process without really knowing your product, your service. You need to do this, but what is super, super clear is that you need to track every single part of the process. Now, that sounds like a shitload of work, right? You're thinking, fuck, Josh, you've added another hour on my day. Firstly, tough shit. You know, I'm not here to hold your hand and tell you that sales is easy, right? I'm not here to be the guy that feeds you fluff. I'm here to keep it real, right? But this isn't an hour, right? Unless you're making 20 million calls a day, which I can guarantee you you're not. There's no reason why the tracking element can't be done in 20 minutes a day. Now, you've got 20 minutes a day. Let's not lie, right? We've all got 20 minutes a day. We can all make 20 minutes a day. If something is important enough, we'll make 20 minutes a day. So make time to track, make time to put together in your CRM or a spreadsheet, whatever it is that you decide to do, the steps. So your process to getting a deal. This can't be something that you do off the whim. So when I was starting in sales, I'm guilty, right? This is what I used to do. I used to pick up the phone. I'd have a lead sheet. I'd have loads of sheets just with leads, loads of pieces of paper with company profile, the executive that I was going to call, what his phone number was, what his email was, and I'd stand there and I'd pick up the lead sheet and I'd ring it, no answer, bin. Ring it, no answer, bin. Oh, this guy answered. Right, what do? Let's write it on a piece of paper. Let's throw it there. Let's remember about it tomorrow. The problem is that's so unorganised. There's going to be so many gaps in what you've done, and the most important part is you really can't truly measure your performance. Now, if you can see every single month that you've made X amount of calls and what then them calls led to, so how many of them come to meetings, how many of them meetings materialised into deals, it's very easy then for you to work out what action you need to take every month to hit your target. So for example, if you need to do, say, 2 deals a month, right? Let's say that you sell a mid to high value product, you need to do 2 deals a month to hit your target, or to earn X amount of commission, right? Now, let's say that to do them 2 deals, you need to make, 100 calls. So out of 2 deals, you have to make 100 calls. From them 100 calls, let's say you need to get 15 or let's say 20 meetings. So you make 100 calls, I get 20 meetings. And from them 20 meetings, I can convert 2. That could be your process. That could be a realistic conversion and process for you. But the great thing here is, if you know how many calls you need to make, how many meetings you need to do to get X amount of deals or X amount of money, you can now put a value, an actual number on every action that you take. So if I know that I've got to do 100 calls and that was going to deliver 2 deals that were, say, worth, 2,000 to me each. So from them 2 deals that I do every single month, I'm going to make 4 grand, right? So now I can say if I do 100 calls, that's going to lead to £4,000. So I can divide 4,000 by 100, and that's going to give me the number that each call I make is worth. You know, if you can walk into an office and you know that for every call you're generating, say, 50 quid or 100 quid or 500 quid, whatever it is based on your maths, right? If you can walk in and truly know that you can value every action that you take, how much nicer is your day going to feel? If rather than you walking into your office and feeling like you're shoveling shit up a hill and you're chasing targets, if you walk in and go, right, I've got to make 100 calls today, but I know each call as part of my process is worth 40 quid. Every meeting, say, that I set up is worth 40 quid. That's gonna make you work a lot harder. That is gonna really ensure that, shit, my time's valuable now. I'm making calls that are worth £40. I better get the fuck ringing. You know, this is why process is so great, because not only can you measure performance, so every single month you can say, I made 100 calls or 200 calls or 300 calls. You definitely should be making more than 100 calls, by the way. You should be making a minimum of 100 calls a day, like really multiple hundreds a day. But let's say you make, let's say you make 10,000 calls a month, right? You make 10,000 calls, it leads to X amount of meetings, which led to X amount of deals. You can put percentages on that then. So say at the end of the month, you can say your call to deal rate was maybe 2%, 5%, whatever it is for you. Next month, you now know a number that you did last month. So you can say, right, as a benchmark, I know now that I need to hit last month's percentage. But then if next month you beat it, then it's a success. You're improving. You're seeing where you're improving. And if you're measuring the process, every action that you can take, you can see the micro steps in between. You can see, so from that call, more people happened to get to the second call, more people went to the follow-up stage, more people went to the proposal stage. Whatever it is in your process, you can see what points are improving. So then you can honestly appraise your own performance and realize what skills you're developing that are improving your game. So look, the message is really simple. Make sure you track and optimize everything. Make sure you track and you measure every single action that you take. It really isn't acceptable not to do it, because like I said, otherwise you're running blind and that you can't actually put a number on the action that you take, which is pretty demoralizing for a salesperson. We've got to have skin like leather, and our job's a bit doom and gloom sometimes. So if you can put a value on the action that you take, that's going to make you feel a million times better. But more importantly, you can monitor your performance. You have a clear indicator every month of what your conversions were at each stage of your deal process. So month by month, you can then see where you're improving, where you need to improve. It's a no-brainer. You can show your performance to key stakeholders in the company. You can justify why you're completing X actions. Every single thing is there. So get yourself a spreadsheet made up if you're really that tight. But if you're not, justify to yourself that 50 quid is worth it, because blimey, if you can just get Pipedrive or one of these online-based CRMs, that is going to absolutely help you like mad. So that's it for me today. It was a dead simple one. I've got to head on out because I've got a drinks event to go to. It's not the last day today. It wasn't the last day of Casual Connect. That's tomorrow. So there's another drink session tomorrow. So the alcohol's gone down a little bit this week, but I've been strict and I've come in. I've done my hour of follow-up as I preach all the time. Come in and do your hour of follow-up based on the meetings that you've had today, and then you can go down and let your hair down a bit. But yeah, make sure you track and measure, because that gives you the real insight and transparency to improve yourself. So get a CRM. Please get a CRM. Don't be tight of 50 quid a month. Go and get a CRM. If not, then spend 2 days developing a spreadsheet that's tailored towards your process. But irrespective of which way you choose it, measure everything, because then you can optimize and you can really see how to perform best. And more importantly, put a value on every action that you take. Have a great evening, guys, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Take care.